Okay, thank you all for coming. I'm going to go ahead and call today's traffic committee meeting to order. Today's Tuesday, October 8th, and it's 3:02 p.m. We'll go ahead and start with introductions. I'm Brian Cervantes with the Engineering Division.
Maria Fraser with the Engineering Division.
Jana Robbins with Traffic Division.
Joanne Burns, Deputy Community Development Director.
Robert Ortega from the Engineering Division.
Okay, so now we'll move on to our next item, which is the traffic committee items taken to the previous traffic committee meeting. There were quite a number of items, so they were the traffic review of 201 South Garden Glen Street, the traffic review of Lark Ellen Avenue and Greenville Drive, the traffic review of 2027 East Vine Avenue, the traffic review of Valley Boulevard and Clubhouse Drive, the traffic review of Hollenbeck Avenue between East Garvey South and East Cortez Street, the traffic review of 421 East Merced Avenue, the traffic review of Hollenbeck Street from Merced Avenue to Hollencrest Drive, the traffic review of 1025 Chase Way, and the traffic review of 1356 Brooktree Circle. So these items went through traffic committee, and then they will be going to city council for final approval. And then our next item on the agenda is new traffic committee items. So our first item is going to be the traffic review of 1238 West Cameron Avenue. And for this review, for this request, a resident is requesting a traffic review of the existing parking conditions along the frontage of their residence located on 1238 Cameron Avenue. The resident is requesting the installation of new handicap parking stall along Cameron Avenue that would be accessible to their family member and neighbor who require medical transportation multiple times per week. The existing conditions at this location is Cameron Avenue has a posted 40-mile-per-hour speed limit. Cameron Avenue is a minor arterial road per the Caltrans road classifications map. Cameron Avenue is 60 feet wide with two lanes of 17 feet and 13 feet in width in each direction, divided by a double yellow center line. There is red curb located on both sides of the street. However, parking is allowed where there's no red curb, except during street sweeping on the second and fourth Monday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. As well, along the frontage of this residence, there is 65 feet of green curb, which is temporary 1-hour parking along the frontage of the apartment complex. As well, a site visit was conducted for this location to see the existing conditions. And based on engineering judgment, the City of West Covina traffic requests guidelines for curb markings and parking, and guidelines found in the CAM UTCD, which is the California Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices, and CVC, or California Vehicle Code. It has been concluded that the property located on 1238 Cameron Avenue does not qualify for the installation of blue curb at this time. The frontage along 1238 Cameron Avenue does not have any nearby driveway or ramps mid-block. The nearest driveways are located east and west of the apartment complex and are surrounded by existing red curb. Due to the existing fire hydrants and line of sight demand, it is not recommended to remove the existing red curb. Additionally, the frontage of the apartment complex is marked with approximately 65 feet of green curb for 1-hour parking, which provides temporary parking. At this time, the location of 1238 Cameron Avenue does not qualify for further recommendations.
This is very similar to the project we had a week ago, and so, and it's an apartment complex, so that's a function of the on-site pedestrian path of travel from the parking lot to the facility. And if it's just parking, there's green curb already, which, if that's all that we did blue curb, then we would have to do the whole ramp and everything else, but I think that's more of a function of the apartment complex more than a right-of-way issue.
I agree. And one of the things is they have to remember that any blue curb or any color marking on a public street is for the public use. It's not for that person, even though they requested it.
Mhm.
Anyone with a handicap plaque is able to park in that spot. So you got to think about that. And it's an apartment complex with no ramp, so at least where we would be able to put any blue curb.
Yeah, I think it would be recommended that the person asking for this approaches the apartment complex and make a request for, because they are by law required to
Provide ADA.
ADA accessibility for vans and cars.
Okay, great. So basically, this one, since it's a no recommendation, it won't go to council. We did notify the resident of what we were recommending, and then at this point, since Traffic Commission is agreeing, then we'll notify the resident that it was denied.
And recommended that he or she reaches
Yes.
out to the park.
Right, okay?
That's for recourse.
Okay, are we ready for the next one?
Okay, our second new traffic committee item is the traffic review of Temple Avenue and East Woodridge Circle. For this, a resident is requesting the installation of keep clear pavement markings at the intersection of Temple Avenue and Woodridge Circle. The resident reported that vehicles driving northbound along Temple Avenue approaching the intersection with Amar Road tend to queue on Temple Avenue and block the intersection with Woodridge Circle. The resident explained that despite there being a sign indicating to not block the intersection, vehicles disregard the traffic signs. For the existing conditions along this intersection, Temple Avenue has a posted 35 mile per hour speed limit, and Woodridge Circle is a 25 mile per hour prima facie speed limit. The intersection is stop controlled along the westbound direction on Woodridge Circle. Per the Caltrans road classification map, Temple Avenue is a major collector road, whereas Woodridge Circle is a local road. On-street parking is allowed on Temple Avenue on the west side of the street, except where red curb is marked. However, it's not allowed along the east side of Temple Avenue. And on Woodridge Circle, it's allowed on both sides. However, there is restrictions that's permit parking only on that street. And as well, collision data was obtained from the State of California Statewide Integrated Traffic Record System, or SWITRS. From SWITRS, we did a review over approximately a 3-year period between January 2021 through December of 2023, and there were no reported collisions for that intersection. Additionally, a field visit was conducted and site photos were taken on Wednesday, July 17th of 2024. And based on engineering judgment and warrants found in the CAM UTCD and CVC, it was concluded that the intersection of Temple Avenue and Woodridge Circle would benefit from the installation of additional traffic measures. This location qualifies for the following improvements: installation of do not block intersection sign on the northeast corner of the intersection of Temple Avenue and Woodridge Circle, as well as install keep clear pavement marking along the northbound direction of Temple Avenue at the intersection with Woodridge Circle.
That's discussion.
I agree with the recommendations.
So do I. This area particularly gets very congested, the cars going northbound on Temple. So I agree with this recommendation.
I agree with the recommendation as well.
Okay, because there is an existing sign, but obviously they're not, unless it's painted, we'll hope that people don't park in that area, so, okay?
I think that would be more of a deterrent.
Yeah.
Just paint it on the paving. That would work.
So this one would go to council for approval. Okay.
We'll go ahead and move on to our third new traffic committee item, which is the traffic review of Nelson Street and Fairgrove Avenue. For this request, the resident is requesting a review of traffic conditions at the intersection of Nelson Street and Fairgrove Avenue. The resident explained that vehicles park at the corner of the intersection, making it difficult to see oncoming traffic along Fairgrove Avenue. The existing conditions for this intersection, Fairgrove Avenue has a 35 mile per hour speed limit, whereas Nelson Street has a 25 mile per hour speed limit. Per the Caltrans roads classification map, Fairgrove Avenue is a major collector road and Nelson Street is a local road. Fairgrove Avenue is 45 feet in width, whereas Nelson Street is 40 feet in width. On Fairgrove Avenue, parking is allowed on both sides except where there's red curb, as well as Nelson Street, there is parking allowed on both sides except where there's red curb. There is existing red curb at this intersection, with the northeast corner having 40 feet of red curb and the northwest corner having 50 feet of red curb. Adjacent to this intersection, there is The zoning is for PCD 1 or planned community development. Additionally, collision data was obtained from Switters at the intersection of Nelson Street and Fairgrove Avenue over approximately a 3-year period between January of 2021 through December of 2023. From this review of Switters, there was one collision in 2022, which was a vehicle versus parked vehicle. And additionally, a field review was completed on June 5th of 2024. And based on engineering judgment, the City of West Covina traffic request guidelines and guidelines found in the CAM UTCD and CVC, it was concluded that the existing red curb at the intersection of Nelson Street and Fairgrove Avenue should be refreshed to reinforce the parking restriction and allow a clear view of oncoming traffic along Fairgrove Avenue. So the recommendation is to refresh existing red curb at the southeast and southwest corners of the intersection of Nelson Street and Fairgrove Avenue.
Any discussion on this one?
No.
So you have 40 feet and 50 feet, which is pretty good for red curb. So I think if, and the pictures show it is really faded, so if they go out and
Refresh it.
repaint it, that it'll stand out. Okay, so this one will
I'll
go
agree with the
to,
recommendations.
with the packet, okay? Okay.
And our fourth new traffic committee item is the traffic review of Lark Ellen Avenue and Roland Avenue. For this request, a resident is requesting a review of the existing right turn only lane conditions at the intersection of Lark Ellen Avenue and Roland Avenue, located to the northeast. The resident is requesting the restriping of the right turn only lane for eastbound traffic at this intersection, along with potential improvements to remind drivers that it is a right turn only lane. The existing conditions at this intersection, per the Caltrans California Road Systems Map, Lark Ellen Avenue is a minor arterial road, whereas Roland Avenue is a major collector road. The posted speed limit on Lark Ellen is 40 miles per hour, and for Roland, it's 40 miles per hour for eastbound travel and 5 miles per hour for westbound travel. Lark Ellen Avenue is 56 feet wide in the northbound direction and 60 feet wide in the southbound direction. For Roland Avenue, it's 76 feet wide for eastbound travel and 40 feet for westbound travel. This intersection is a signalized intersection. Additionally, parking is allowed on all sides except areas where red curb is present. There is existing red curbs for all 4 directions of travel from the intersection. The crosswalk is a yellow ladder crosswalk on all 4 legs of the intersection as well. And collision data was obtained from Switters over approximately a 3-year period between January 2021 through December of 2023. From this review, it was found that there was 8 total collisions, with 6 being vehicle versus vehicle collisions and 2 vehicle versus bicycle collisions. Additionally, a field visit was conducted and site photos were taken on September 12th of 2024. And based on engineering judgment, the City of West Covina traffic request guidelines and guidelines found in the CAM, UTCD, and CVC, it has been recommended that the westbound right turn lane approaching Roland Avenue and Lark Ellen Avenue should be restriped and accompanied with a right lane must turn right sign. The recommendations are to restripe missing and faded right turn arrows on Roland Avenue where it intersects with Lark Ellen Avenue for westbound traffic, and install right lane must turn right sign on existing street light pole approximately 200 feet east of the intersection at Roland Avenue and Lark Ellen Avenue for westbound travel.
Any discussion on this?
Do we need to refresh the record? Striping? I know.
This intersection was just restriped, I
Okay.
believe last year.
Okay, then it should be fine.
Yeah, the only thing we could potentially add is, because the resident did say that they were using it, the right turn lane, as a through lane when schools were coming in, that we could put the cat track in the lane to show that it's,
That
you
is the
know,
one that they need to.
I believe this intersection has cat tracks already, Jana.
for the right turn lane?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, it has it
They may need to
through
be
the
refreshed.
intersection.
They
but
have
They
a-
may need to be refreshed, because it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, this is an old photo because it's since
Okay.
been, this is all ladder crossroad.
Okay.
So it just hasn't been updated on the
This is
Google
it.
Do they have
aerials.
it for the
Okay.
right turn lane, or is it only for the through lane? Because it's kind of a offset intersection. One side's
Mhm.
wider than
I
the other.
think it's on the right side of the through lane, so I think that's why people are thinking that that's cat tracking for both lanes to go through.
Yeah, okay, so we may need to check and see if we need the curve
Mhm.
that leads for the right turn. Because we may have cat tracking through the intersection for the through lane,
Mhm.
but not for the lane that's right turn only.
Yeah,
could
I
check.
think that's a good idea.
So Brian, if you guys can drive through
Mhm.
again and check it, because that might be something we need to do to just kind of reemphasize that it's the right turn lane. Because I have a feeling, because I remember driving through there and I thought it was for the through lane
It is.
to
There's
go
cat
to
tracks
the
for
other lane
through.
because of the offset.
Correct.
So it may not have that for the right turn.
Yeah,
Guys, cat tracking, there, it's just a striping.
correct.
It's the stuff that goes through the intersection, in the intersection itself. You've seen it, the white,
So Amar at Azusa has it, because
Like
that
dashed.
intersection's so wide
Mhm.
to help guide the turning.
right,
lanes.
Got
especially
it.
if you have
Otherwise
like
people just
double
go like way
left or,
out.
yeah.
Mhm.
Got it.
It kind of guides them to their lane of where,
It's
But-
those white metal things that are sticking out?
yeah, it's just,
No, they're
it's
not,
pa-
but the-
it's just
a
striping.
paint- A stripe.
It's a little fatter stripe, it's just, or, you know,
A little
just
dash.
a dashed.
Dash stripe. That would probably help a lot. So we'll take back to council with a possible cat tracking
Yeah,
refreshment to guide, or in addition to what it has to guide the traffic.
yeah, we'll have to go out there and check it again. Okay. Yeah, the pictures, the field pictures were, show that
hard
it's
to
a
tell.
ladder, but it didn't show the right turn.
No, it doesn't.
In the intersection, so we don't know. We should have had
I
pictures.
think it shows it, but it's so faint that it's even hard to see it. And then we even take
So it
one
says the
far enough in
ladder.
the intersection to show the capture, but
Yeah.
see this? It looks like a little white something maybe. It's just really faint. Well, it says.
That's the right
here.
turn arrow, yeah. It is faded.
Okay.
Let's refresh them. Should we refresh them all? Through and.
The arrows, yeah.
Yeah, I would refresh all the
Yeah.
arrows. We're gonna be out there anyways, minimal cost.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And we'll go ahead and move on to our fifth and last item, new traffic committee item, which is Barranca Street and East Garvey Avenue South. For this request, the resident was requesting a traffic review of the existing conditions at the intersection of Barranca Street and East Garvey Avenue South. The resident stated that he was involved in a collision at this intersection and almost collided with a pedestrian. They believe removing the traffic signal and installing an always stop would make the intersection safer. For the existing conditions at this intersection, 3-year traffic collision time was looked at on Switters, and it was found that there was 12 collisions at the intersection. The posted speed limit for both East Garvey Avenue South and Barranca Street is 35 miles per hour. The intersection is traffic signal controlled. Per the California Road Systems Classification Map, Garvey Avenue South is a major collector road, while Barranca Street is a minor arterial road. At this intersection, the crosswalks are white standard at all legs, except the north leg does not have a crosswalk. There is no parking allowed on either of the legs of the intersection, except parking is allowed 180 feet south of the intersection with some restrictions. As well, the land use for around the intersection is multifamily residential, an in and out, and the I-10 freeway. As previously stated, collision data was obtained from Switters over approximately a 3-year period between January 2021 through December of 2023. From this review, it was found that there was 11 vehicle versus vehicle collisions and 1 vehicle versus pet or bike at the intersection. And to determine the type of turning movements encountered at the intersection of Bronca Street and Garvey Avenue South during the heaviest peak hours, traffic counts were taken during the hours of 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Tuesday, August 13th. And figures 1 and 2 depict the highest peak 1 hours of vehicles at the intersection during each of those count periods. And those are shown on the screen as well. Additionally, pedestrian counts were collected for all pedestrians who crossed the legs of the intersection of Bronca Street and Garvey Avenue South on Tuesday, August 13th during the hours of 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 6 a.m. From the pedestrian counts, it was found that no pedestrians crossed the north leg. On the south leg, 20 adults and 13 school-age children crossed the intersection during those hours. For the east leg, there was 21 adults and 11 school-age children. In the west leg, it was 15 adults and 12 school-age children crossed the intersections during those hours when counts were being taken. And based on engineering judgment, the City of West Covina traffic request guidelines found in the CAM UTCD and CVC, this location is not being considered for removal of the traffic signal at this time. Because there is significantly more traffic approaching the intersection from the north and south directions than the east and west directions, removing the traffic signal and installing an all-way stop would cause more traffic during peak hours, especially with the I-10 freeway on/off ramps nearby. The following recommendation is suggested instead. And that recommendation is to install turning vehicles yield to pedestrian sign on the signal poles at the intersection of Bronca Street and Garvey Avenue South for northbound, southbound, and eastbound traffic.
Any comments on this one? Yeah, it has significant traffic, so it's not, usually when you have that much traffic, you want to put in signals, not take them out. So, it is, like Brian said, there's the In-N-Out, there's the McDonald's down the side, there's the ramps, and then also I know that South Hills High School students are walking this way to get down to the shopping and Starbucks and all this other stuff on the north of the side. So by putting in these signs, we're hoping that it would remind vehicles that they need to yield to pedestrians. So especially on the southeast corner where there is like the wash, the turning radius is very short. It doesn't have a great view, but this way it'll remind them. Does anyone have any other comments?
I just wanted to make another observation. I mean, being that the Caltrans ramps are right there, if you were to put a stop, that will
It would back
queue
up
into the freeway. And I
right.
think Caltrans would have an issue with that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I mean, we're already, that ramp has been a ramp of discussion with the city as it is.
Yeah.
Because it has an odd,
That's a short
Yeah, you
little
know.
span, and people coming out of the freeway, they get stuck here. At least with the signal,
Oh,
they
yeah.
get flushed
Mhm.
all at once,
Mhm.
and it helps the freeway.
so I think this one we were trying to potentially add to some grants if they come up to look at maybe left turn phasing in that, but, because it's very expensive. So it's one of those that we try to add to grants when they come up. So it's one that we do have on our list. If next grant come up, try to get it to fix more of that. But at this point, the turning vehicles yield to PED. We'll see how that works.
Brian, for that project that we have going on, or going to start soon, the traffic signals in various areas, the HIP,
Mm-hmm.
this is not a.
No.
No, it's not included.
See, the problem when you do certain grants,
Mhm.
it's all, the HSIP ones are all based on collision, benefit cost factors. So there's all these things you have to weigh, the cost versus the benefit. And if it doesn't have, you get different values for the type of collisions. So, and you kind of try to rank the ones that have the most collisions, and then you kind of go down the list and see how the money pans out, So unfortunately, yeah. So we have a few in the hopper, so hopefully get selected.
Now, will this intersection benefit from one of those reflective signal lights? Do you know how they have the yellow stripe
Reflective
around it? That way
backlight.
they
Yeah,
stand
that's
out?
part of the
Part,
HSIP.
yeah, because everything that gets updated at
Yeah,
that now.
and part of the HSIP was citywide, all the signals would have the yellow reflective background, the yellow strips. You've seen Caltrans, I'm sure, It's the yellow strip along the signal heads, so it's more reflective at night. So if we get lucky and, our grant is accepted, we have citywide for that, so it will get all the signals in the city.
Okay.
Or at least, I think a city's big, so I can't remember how many, but it was like 50 or 60 signals in the city would have that.
I don't mean to beat this to death, but also another comment that I would make against not always stop is the fact that you have in and out there, and they have their entrances or exits already set up based on the traffic impact analysis they had to do before they came in. And as you know, even with a traffic impact analysis, they get really backed up anyway, so that would be, add to the queue, this would be a lot messier.
Oh, it would be backed up, because
It would be-
then, at least when you have a signal, it clears each
Yeah,
queue. But if you have an always stop, then every single car has to come to a stop, wait its turn, and then go.
yeah, and
So
then that
then-
would be super impacted too. And
Yeah,
they did
it
all the
just
studies
kinda-
based on having a traffic signal.
So,
Anyways,
all right, so this one, the signage
We'll
at
wait.
least.
well, with the
Take-
signage and then set some other point, we can look for some funding
Yeah,
opportunities.
yeah. So it is on our list for funding. So we do have one resident who's with us on a non-agenda item, Mr. Albert Ochoa.
Sure, yes.
Welcome.
Hi. I'm ready to go. All
Okay.
right. Hi, I'm Albert Ochoa. I addressed the city council, Rosario Diaz, keeping West Covina PD informed, and traffic committee about commercial vehicles that keep driving in my residence. It's posted on both ends, no trucks, but then again, they continue coming. So I want to submit these pictures. These are all commercial. You got fifth axle, you got here Amazon, you got one of those concrete dump trucks, you got JB Hunt.
Is this South Garvey and? Goes
Yes, on
into
that
Cherrywood,
90-degree
right?
corner turn?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yes. So this is a continuing issue, and not only that, but then what they're doing is, last year on July 23, there's a concrete street post, they knocked it down. So here's a picture of it. I don't know if I submitted that one because sometimes I'm not available, but one of my neighbors notified me, that was on July 23. July 24th, again, this year, they knocked another one down. I emailed you guys on that one
Yeah.
on July 10th, I sent that one out, so this is twice. You guys did a lot of improvement to our street, and I appreciate that. Believe it or not, the vehicle accidents that we were having, it stopped. So I appreciate that. I think we addressed that issue, because that's what we were having. 90-degree turn, cars were speeding, crashing into our property, our cars, and it was causing chaos. Okay, so that got taken care of, but now it seems like we're having an issue now with commercial vehicles. Again, they had 2 accidents, and now our deliners that we have posted for the safety that we have, they're all missing. Now we have about 10 of them missing. So for that protection that we had before, it's no longer there. So we've been blessed, we've been doing good, so I appreciate that. But again, before we even address that issue, we need to address the commercial vehicles. Because if they continue coming in, they're just gonna keep breaking them. I know when you guys installed them, I think, Jaina, you said
Yeah.
that you can hit them, but you can't run them over because they break. And that's what commercial
Well, they
vehicles are doing them.
They have so many times, and then
Yeah.
they don't do it anymore.
So
It
there's
looks like
10
they were snapped off,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think, yeah.
So there's 10 of them right now that are snapped
Yeah.
off, if you look at that picture of it.
Yes,
So especially around that corner turn that we have,
Yeah.
90 degrees,
Yeah.
we need that protection. Again, I would like to have them put back, but we need to address that issue. So what I'm looking at it, and I'm just suggesting, I'll start off on Azusa and East Garvey Avenue South, traveling westbound. Okay, there's a no truck posted sign, but then again, it's about 50 feet back. It's not on the streets, it's not on the street signal. We need to raise it up, and I'm gonna add to put truck route. You don't go through there, you put arrows going the opposite. So if you look at this, Brian, that street sign is about 40 feet, 50 feet back. I wanna see if we can have that posted, as a suggestion, posted, pick it up. I have family lived in Chino, so I went by there, and they have this, I wanna submit this. They have, again, truck route, so they have truck route direction, and post a sign up high. So when commercial vehicles see it, they're driving.
yep.
They know ahead of time. So I'll give you an example. If you're traveling northbound on Sousa, just before the 10 freeway, that's Garvey right there, East Garvey. If you give him your left-hand lane, he can't see that sign. There's no way he can see that sign, because that sign is 40, 50 feet inside. It's not posted on the signal light. It needs to be posted up so you can see it. So if he's on the left lane, he's gonna turn. It's too late.
Yeah. Like
So
this.
we need to alert them, educate them, anything we can do to help improve from them going in, because they're the ones causing all this trouble. But then again, they need the help. They don't know until they get in there. So I'm using myself. I'm driving in there, I don't see that sign until you get on the left turn. Well, once you're driving in, you're like, oh, you can't make a right turn now. You're stuck. So that's from Azusa and Garvey East, traveling westbound. So now the same thing, traveling from Lark Allen, going eastbound on East Garvey Avenue South. There's a sign there too, but I also want to put truck route. We need to figure out which way, first of all, should we even have trucks coming in from that direction? I see on the other side, Brian and Jana, I posted this, if I can submit this, so you can see what I'm looking at. This is westbound.
Do you know where those trucks are going?
Okay, there's a truck route here coming on Glendora by the lakes. But now we'll allow them to go here, but which way do you want them to go? You want them to go left on Lark Allen, northbound, or do you want them to go right where the high school's at? We gotta make a decision. Because right now, it's not a good decision. They're not gonna know. If you look at that, Jana, from Lark Allen, okay? If you're coming up Glendora, it's posted at the bottom on service. So if you look at the south on the bottom, you see service and Glendora. It's posted at the bottom where you can go truck route. You guys have it already on there, it says truck route. But now, if they're gonna go up, now they go into the lakes. Okay, so now do you want them to continue going on East Garvey? Because it's posted on my end, on Lark Allen and Garvey, no trucks. So which way do you want them to go? Do you want them to go left, north, or do you want them to go right, south? If they go right, south, they're gonna go right into West Covina High School or Cameron Park, and I don't think that's a good idea. Put them by the schools. If you go left, they're gonna run into, you got a little community school there, elementary, and then you got the park. So I really don't think commercial vehicles have any business up there. I'm suggesting on Dalewood, once they make a delivery, if they have to, go in there, because you already have it posted on the bottom on service. If you look on the bottom on the corner, on Glendora and Vincent, I wrote right there truck route. You guys have it going on Glendora or going on Vincent already. You're telling them they can go, and they're there. They're right there by El Pollo Loco, that, fast food restaurant. And if they go north, all right, now they go into the lakes. They're probably delivering to the bars, probably delivering to, that area right there, the Edwards, the lakes. Okay, but do you want them to turn around and go back, which would be my suggestion? Again, I'm just throwing that up there because otherwise they're gonna go straight into Garvey. Now they can go into where it's posted no truck, or either go left or go right, north or south. That's the decision we gotta make. And right now what they're doing, they're going where it's posted no trucks. So I'm saying put on their direction. If you want to allow trucks to go through commercial vehicles, then either go left truck route, go right truck route, or let's block it off on Dalewood, no trucks. They have to turn around. We gotta make a decision.
Well, I think only Azusa is a truck route.
Vincent and Glendora.
Vincent, Glendora is
Mhm.
as well, so.
Just for the downtown.
Yeah, and like you said, if they have a delivery,
Mhm.
they can drive anywhere. But they have to have a delivery. But I think we have to kind of coordinate with PD that, we could put up 100 signs, but unless they're gonna get a ticket, it doesn't, register, right, so,
Leave 'em in the pocket.
right, yeah, so, no, we can look at all the signs.
See, I just
Obviously,
don't-
they know they're not supposed to be there
Correct.
except for on regular truck routes.
Correct.
So even if we put a sign, if they have a delivery, that's fine. But
Sure.
if they don't, they know they're in the error, but obviously they're willing to take that chance, so.
I'm thinking if they deliver there, post a sign, truck route going back south.
Yeah.
Get them out of there. Drive in there, do their delivery, and if they're able to, drive out. First of all, do you need a commercial vehicle going to the lakes area? You should probably be going in there on a bobtail. A lot of companies use bobtails for that reason, where it's
Yeah.
tight, they use a bobtail. You don't need a fifth wheel. 80,000
Yeah.
pound vehicle, you don't need that in there. So they should be able to go in there, make the delivery, that's fine. 3-axle, bobtail, and turn around, get out. And again, on Dalewood,
Yeah, why
my
is
recommendation,
Amazon
post it there. That would stop those
truck unless they have a delivery?
commercial trucks from going on East Garvey Avenue, traveling eastbound to the 90-degree corner turn and causing those 2 accidents, streetlight posts that they knocked down, and the liners that we had
Yeah.
improved. It makes no sense to have them back up right now, and then they're gonna, those pictures I submitted, that's
Yeah, no,
July,
I-
August, and September right there. That's just three months right there.
Yeah,
And that's just little research that I did. Maybe there's more, but.
Yeah, so like the Amazon, why are they giant?
JB
Unless
Hunt.
they have a whole house full of stuff in there.
Yeah, well, the bobtails are fine. UPS,
Wow.
FedEx, Amazon,
Yeah.
bobtails, those are fine.
Right, these are the
Anything under
big-
20,000 pounds should not be in there.
No.
No commercial vehicles
You
over
got the
that.
rock
That's where
trucks,
commercial
you
comes
got
in.
everything in there. And this is
So-
on your little street.
So that's where it gets hectic right there. What do we want to do? We need to
Yeah.
make a decision because it won't go away.
Look at that.
And I know mine is, they need to stop going in there because
Yeah.
they're the ones causing the trouble already.
Right, they need to stop. So our issue is, will just a sign stop them? If they know they're not supposed to be there anyway?
Right.
That's my concern. I'm all for signing and doing, that makes complete sense. It's just, if these guys are going this way just to avoid the freeway, will a sign, stop them? But we have brought that up, and we're trying to get the delineators put back, but yes, no, you have a
We can do
good,
it. It's gonna be
yes.
square one again.
It's gonna need some enforcement too.
Yeah,
to be
so
able to
I think we-
educate, because
Yeah.
I know you mentioned Chino, Central Avenue is not a truck route, and you was surprised every morning that I drove through it.
Oh, yeah.
3 or 4 semi-trucks stop, so
Sure.
is to deter them, if you keep hitting them and hitting them and hitting them.
Yeah,
they'll
that's
pretty
the only
soon
way,
They'll talk to others, like, don't go down Central because you're gonna get a ticket, and
Yeah.
they did. In the morning, they had at least 3 officers just handing out little
But at least right there, the one that I gave as an example in Chino is posted
Oh, yeah.
ahead of time. It
Nice
says
and
truck
high
route
up.
straight ahead.
Yep.
It's about 100 feet ahead telling you, if you're in a commercial vehicle, you don't have to worry about making a left or right. You're like, oh, I better go straight because it's a truck route.
Right.
Then you go further, then it has truck route, arrows left and right, telling you to go east and west only. And that's what I'm saying. We need to do something here like
Yeah.
that to, when they're driving, they're like, oh, I know I can't go that way, but which way do they want me to go? Right now, it's like you throw a coin up in the air because they don't know. They can go either way right now.
They even have the giant trucks coming this way, but it's
Yeah.
at 4 o'clock. It's,
Well, different times.
Yeah.
Morning, afternoon, dates, and dates and time are posted on there.
yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I was hoping the PD would be able to come.
yeah, well, me too, that's why
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
here.
you definitely need enforcement to be able to kind of.
So they were out there, they've been out there, I do keep my, Service 3, Lieutenant Brian Daniels
Yes,
posted. Rosar Diaz, I keep her posted. You guys, I keep you guys posted, and it just, again, I don't know what to do, but the only thing is, I'm picturing myself on their side. Well, you're not telling me which way to go. That's where we're at right now. You're not telling me, so we gotta tell them which way to go or which way not to go.
Right.
make a decision. And then, now, the other one would be coming in, if you're on Lark Allen, you're coming southbound, because we just addressed coming eastbound from Glendora. I already explained to you from Azusa coming westbound. So now if you're coming from Lark Allen on Workman, I'm suggesting put no trucks. Because there's nothing there to tell you, again, if your commercial truck is coming, there's nothing to tell them there's no commercial trucks allowed. So if you get on the left-hand lane, if you're going southbound, right now it's posted, because you guys improved the street, if you get in the left-hand lane, you can only make a left turn. And guess what? When you make that left-hand turn, you can't go in the right lane, because all the traffic's going straight. And then when you get in the left-hand lane, it's posted no trucks. What are they gonna do? Too late.
Too late.
Too late.
Yeah.
And that's the one on coming in from Lark Allen. So again, I'm suggesting on that, that we do something coming from that direction, because we got hit from all directions. This is coming down this way. We have nothing over there, and then I want to submit this.
Okay, well, I suggest that we will go and we'll look around this area and see where the signage needs to be posted, and we'll bring back a plan to have the no trucks, truck route signage posted. Once we bring that plan, I mean, obviously, we'll probably all approve it, and then, but it'll be going to council for final approval, and then unfortunately, how our requests are, we can approve everything, and get them to council, but then it has to wait for funding to become available, so.
But at least let's start.
Yes.
I want to start the roll the
Yes,
ball.
absolutely. No, it sounds good.
Yeah.
Now, can we,
Yeah, that's
do we
all
have
for
a
you.
copy of these?
Yes,
or-
I do.
Okay.
So the last one I want to submit
All
is
right.
page 4, the deliners. I
Yes.
drew the deliners right there.
Yep.
Okay, I want to make some changes if I can. When we first did it, there's 25 deliners on there. I numbered them. So
Mm-hmm.
1 through 6 they start off on James and right up to my first property, 108,
Yeah.
where I live, my residence. Okay, after talking with my neighbors, and we all decided that 1 through 6, we don't need them.
Okay.
So we can make an improvement. So I highlighted, if you see yellow on them, there's 10 of them that are broken already. Those are the
Yes.
10 that are highlighted. There's 4 available there that we can move over after when we do make that improvement right there. On my residence between 108 and 102, my neighbor, same thing, he asked me if they can move 1 deliner out of there by the driveway. So if you remove that one, now we have another spare that we can do. Same thing with the other driveway at property 101. Those 2 deliners right on their driveway, remove those 2. So if we remove those right now, I went out there this morning, looked at it, we have 7 good deliners that we can replace to the ones that are broken. There's 10 of them broken right now.
Yeah.
So if we remove 7 of them, all we need to replace is 1 more, and that'll do the job. But I'd rather wait until we address this issue, because,
Yeah.
again, I hate to do all this work, and then
And
we're
then the
back to
trucks
square
run them
one.
over again, yeah.
Unless you guys see difference, or you guys, think different, that we should do it now. I mean, I want to do it now, don't get me wrong. I feel like we're wasting our money, city money, everything that we're doing, we're not getting nowhere. I don't know what else to do. I mean, I report the stuff.
Yeah.
West Covina PD, they can't be out there all the time. I've seen them out there, but they can't sit there all day. They got to keep going. So at the end of the day, it's like, okay, now we're stuck. What do we do? So like I told my wife, I need to go address this issue and let them know, at least show them what I see, and then we could put our 2 cents in.
No, it's great. This
and move on that.
delineator
This is
thing
good,
is
like-
good.
Like to Jan's point, we can come up with a plan, we'll bring it back, we'll approve it, but it's just gonna take, be patient with us
Oh,
to
yeah.
find the funding, because we usually try to get all these projects together so that, the
Sure.
numbers, the more items we have, the more the economy of scales is for the city.
Yeah.
And for the funding, we can get more for what we got, so.
Okay.
Just be patient with us once we come up with a plan, that we will work at it.
Yeah, will do.
John is
Okay.
awesome at that, so.
I appreciate it, yeah. Well, you guys did a great job. Like I said, you guys fixed our street, and we were having accidents every year in our street. It was crazy. Yeah, on my property, they broke the brick wall, and
Ugh,
my
each
daughter,
time.
she come with my grandkids, and it's scary. When I showed her that, I was like, it's not even safe for her to be under my driveway. But after the street improvement that you guys did, we haven't had no more accidents, no more vehicle
Okay, good.
accidents. So that's good. So, you know, we're
One
moving in a good
down, huh?
direction, but the only thing is now, we're running
We
into
got the
this issue,
truck
so I'm
thing.
like, okay, well, I gotta address this issue now. And I know it's not gonna be an overnight, but I'd rather start. So, thank you.
No, that'd be great.
We
Okay, well,
appreciate
thank
you
you,
coming.
yes. It's really helpful also to give you guys, because you're living there, especially with the
Yes.
delineators. I mean, when we first did it, we tried to make sure that each driveway had a gap, but,
Yes,
you know, now you know how it works or doesn't work.
correct.
So that helps us as well. So we appreciate it, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. That's all I got.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Perfect.
Is there anyone else that wanted to?
Yeah, I know. You're a good old crossing guard to action
Yes.
again. Well, I wanted to mention it at last meeting, but I decided, you know what, I'll give it another 2 weeks to see how things are transpiring on Valinda and Merced by Merlinda School. People are still parking in the crosswalk, trying to get into school, so I had suggested that maybe you guys could put some signage up on Merced before they turn and on Valinda before they cross the intersection that please do not park in crosswalk. It's California Vehicle Code violation 22500, which, you know, I'm sure you guys know. So I was just wondering if the city council would be able to recommend no parking in the crosswalk, because it's really, really hard to cross people when there's
Oh, I know.
a car in the crosswalk, a car back here, and I have to go between them to cross people a lot of times, and it makes for a, you know, pretty dicey situation.
Right.
Okay.
We did
Keep
look,
clear.
the last time we did look for a sign,
Yeah.
because as engineers and on the city, we have to put the official signs, you know? We can't
Right.
put a non-standard sign on the street. We did look for a sign that said that, but as far as I'm aware, I did not see any signs that said no parking on the crosswalk.
In the crosswalk.
There are some, like we recommended at Branca, it says yield to peds.
Yeah,
What about a keep clear, like sometimes you do, like when you have a driveway and you
Yeah.
have a traffic signal.
'Cause I
and
think
you
a
know it's
lot of it
gonna
is-
queue and then
yeah,
block
the-
the driveway, would that work?
Well, because it's a crosswalk in the
Yeah.
middle, so it's already striped,
I
so.
agree, have to keep it
well,
clear.
I think I
That's the
only maybe
hard
seen
part.
one
You get a
sign.
sign, not on the, not a
Yeah.
thing net, but on a,
Might be confusing to drivers in that
Okay.
context.
I think maybe I've only seen one sign that actually said,
That
do
said
not
that?
block the crosswalk by a school.
Mm.
I don't know if it was in Covina or Glendora, but it was just that one sign that said, do not block crosswalk, California Vehicle Code, but there's
Yeah,
nothing
we'll
in
have
West
to,
Covina.
we'll
that
keep
I've
look-
looking there,
looking.
we'll look again and see if we
Okay.
can find one
Right.
that would, because it's like, if we put up a non-regulatory sign
Yeah,
that's.
people tend to ignore it.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
of
it's
course.
liability, you know,
Right.
people get upset if they get a ticket or something, if it's not the right sign. But we'll see if we can find something.
That,
To address that?
Anything would help right now. I mean, they did, thank you guys, because I told you last time, they did finally paint the
Oh,
crosswalk, because it
good.
was really faded. The word school zone by the school there still needs to be painted too. It's fading pretty badly. It just needs a refresher paint. It says school zone, so people know that, you know, if they're paying attention, they'll know they're in the school
Right.
zone. I'd also suggested maybe putting those electronic speed monitors, telling people how fast they're going, especially going towards the school, but even coming away from the school, they tend to speed down Valinda Avenue, and of course, everybody's on a mission to beat the light, so you know how that goes, all right? They're running red lights like crazy, you know, exceeding the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit in the school zone, so just wondering, maybe even one going towards the school would help, you know, if we can't get.
I
to-
know, as we discussed this grant thing, you know, it's very
Right.
frustrating, but
I understand, yeah.
it's a long process.
Right.
You know, I always ask our engineering team, it's like, what do you
Yeah.
got for me? What, because people want to know, where are we, you know? So we go up a little bit. Okay, we've got a contractor on board, but now we got to wait for Caltrans to give us approval to
course,
hire them. You know,
right.
it's just, it's crazy.
I know.
But some of our grants, the ATP ones, we are recommending the speed back signs.
Okay.
So, you know, hopefully we could just get this thing in there.
And I believe we have two around the school, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I had also suggested a pedestrian crossing signage, but I think with the newly painted crosswalk, I think people would be aware that it's a pedestrian crosswalk. I don't think
Visible?
we need it.
Okay.
That would kind of be a little redundant, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But I would like to see maybe some kind of a do not stop in the crosswalk, because, like, especially in the afternoon when they're getting out of school, and even on Mercer, when they're trying to turn the corner, one will be in this crosswalk and the other, one will be in the other crosswalk, and everybody wants to get in the parking lot, and, you know, that leaves me in a little bit of a bind.
Right.
People they wanna go, you know, so I just, out there and.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I had today.
Okay, yeah, we'll take another look and see what we can find, and,
Okay, that'd be great.
all right, well, appreciate you guys coming. I think that's,
Then,
are we gonna close it out, or what do you
Yeah,
wanna do?
I'll go ahead and adjourn today's meeting. Our next meeting is going to be in November. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.